What's up, boys? This is Nick, and today we're going to be talking about my beautiful 1999 Ford F-250 4R100 automatic transmission, four-wheel drive that just recently hit 400,000 miles and everything that's wrong with it. Closed off the trail. So we're gonna start under the hood because I don't want to trash talk this thing too much. It is an awesome truck. I bought this thing about 2 years ago when I sold the last Cobra that I built. I sold it, bought this truck as I was changing businesses, and I needed something that I could tow customers' cars with, and I only had the money from the Cobra really to fund it. So this was the cheapest F-250 that I could find that ran, drove, had four-wheel drive. When I bought it, the transmission didn't work, the four-wheel drive didn't work. All the systems were leaking, the glow plugs didn't work, half the interior was missing. It actually didn't even have a rear seat, and it's came a decent way since then. I just put some brand new tires on it because we're starting to level up. But under the hood, I had to replace all of the injector O-rings pretty soon after I bought it. It started consuming about 5 quarts of oil in 50 miles, which is astonishing. If you have non-Motorcraft O-rings in there, they're very likely to fail. So we had to pull all of those out, replace them with $200 worth of Motorcraft O-rings. And the cups had been replaced right before that, as there was a bunch of diesel fuel inside of the coolant overflow, and it was actually a brand new overflow when I bought it because it had cracked from the diesel being in the coolant. It leaks from about every single orifice that it has. The transmission pan leaks, the turbo leaks, there's oil in the intercooler piping, the transmission fluid leaks because half of the bolts are stripped out going into the pan, and every time I heliocoil them, I'll fix them all, and then I'll put it together, and the 5 that I didn't heliocoil will strip out, and it's just it just leaks on our driveway now, which is fun. The power steering leaks as well. I have to top it off every like 100 miles or so. It'll start whining real bad. I replaced the power steering pump one day, and I hit the brakes so hard that I blew out the hydro boost, so that now leaks. And whenever I hit the brakes, instead of it braking, I can feel the pedal kind of like sink, and then it gets hard, and I guess it's like fluid leaking past the hydro boost, and the brakes kind of suck, and you can't brake and turn at the same time. So trailers are really fun with this thing. And besides that, we're pretty good in the engine bay. So on the inside of it, when I bought it, did not have a back seat. You would not believe how hard it is to find a back seat for this thing where they don't want $1,000 for it. But I found this from a local guy, paid $200 for it. Only problem is that it doesn't have seat belts in the rear. So that's great. We got a couple cans of starting fluid in there. We got all my tools for when it breaks down. We got a camera tripod, just in case I left my tripod at home. Something I noticed not too long after I had bought it is that the airbag light doesn't come on whenever the dash comes on, which means that the light has been ripped out. And I hooked up a scanner to it, found that there was a bunch of problems with the airbag system. I don't know if it has an airbag in it or not, but it's just a little questionable. Either way, I don't think it'll work. The blower motor for the air conditioning goes out every once in a while, and I have to wiggle the fuse for it in the engine bay, pops right back on. One day I was driving it, stalls out in the middle of the road, just dies. Pull over, found out that the fuse popped for the PCM. The PCM fuse is also hooked up to the fuel bowl heater. and the fuel bowl heater had shorted out and caused that fuse to pop and turns the PCM off at the same time, which is really stupid. So I just never, I unplugged the fuel bowl heater, put a new fuse in it, and we haven't had that problem since. The interior is pretty nice though. I mean, I got some, what are these? I got some Alpine speakers in it with some little tweeters that, that I custom fabbed inside of there. We got the factory head unit. And this is a must right here. Don't go to Walmart and buy you the big ding dong FM transmitters. Order this off Amazon. It has a little USB, tells you the volume, your station. It works perfect. It's not in the way. It's nice. I got my Chipotle flavor enhancer in here. Can't go anywhere without it. The tailgate when I bought this thing was destroyed. I don't know what happened to it, but it was concave. I actually did a pretty decent job bringing it back out, put some tractor paint on it so at least it's all white again. Driving on the highway, comes to a stop, and then I'm going 10-15 miles an hour and the whole truck's going like woo woo. It's like I had like eggs as wheels and the whole truck was just doing this. So I drive it about another 200 miles because I was busy, and then I took one of the tires off and I realized it was, instead of being flat across, it was bubbled up like this. I actually got a video of it. Both of the fronts did it. They were 7-year-old tires. I bought them used as all the money that I had at the time. So luckily those never blew up on me, and I was able to get these bad boys on there that actually work in the mud, which is hype because this thing gets stuck in the mud way easier than you would think. I did fix the 4-wheel drive, but the 4-wheel drive and the transmission are the big problem areas of the truck at the moment. The 4-wheel drive makes just a little like clanging noise. Not a driveline expert, but probably has something to do with the drive shaft. And then let me show you one of the best secrets that she has. Another beautiful feature is that my gas tank gauge is broken. I do not indeed have a full tank at the moment, and I fill it up with gas at about the 270 mile mark because I've ran out before at 280, and I get about 13 miles to the gallon. It also doesn't shift good in a third. Oh boy. Another thing I notice is whenever I give it throttle, oh, I hate doing this. I hope you can hear that. The whole rear end gets axle wrap, meaning that like the whole rear end twists, the leaf springs twist because they're old and they're weak and they need to be replaced. So it's the drive shaft taking up that slack and getting smacked around. It's not a good sound. The front does it too. The front leaf springs are real bad on it. I definitely need to replace those. It's sagging so bad that my headlights don't point at the ground, and I actually propped them up with a nut behind the headlights in order to have some projection going on. Is it my only means of transportation? Yes. Does it get me to my dirt bike races? Yes. Does it tow my customers' cars? Yes. Has it left me stranded? Nah. I mean, yeah, but like I figured it out pretty quickly and got right back on the road. Does it stress me out to drive it every day, not having enough money to be able to replace the transmission if that just completely went out on me, or any of the other diesel related components? Because as you guys know, diesels aren't cheap. And does it suck to have to put diesel in the tank when for about a year or so I was struggling so much I couldn't even pay to put diesel in it? I couldn't even pay to put gas in it, never mind pay diesel prices a year ago. Yeah, that sucked too, but this thing's created a lot of character. I'm a very OCD perfectionist type person by trade. I detail perfect cars. I've owned a bunch of really cool cars, and this truck has taught me to relax a little bit, enjoy life, drive over those trees, scratch up the paint, because I really don't care about this thing. Like, it's already beat, the paint's already beat, the body's dented up. Like, it's not a perfect truck. So just like enjoy it as a truck, enjoy what it is, and make the most out of it.